Well, we are certainly heavy on the midfield today. Let's jump in and see how it goes. This one is called the 3DM 352 2ST. Obviously, the strikers, the DMs, and all of that. There is a little bit of a description basically saying attacking mentality. The Sigurd Volante takes more risk, dribble more, moves into channels, DMS holds position. So just a little bit of positioning instruction there. But it did get them into first place with Tottenham yet again. So doing a fantastic job. We're going to take a look with our three teams of Liverpool and Aston Villa in the Premier League and our championship side of Ipswich Town. So let's just dive into the Premier League and see how it worked. Well, I can't say it didn't work, no question about it. Unfortunately, Manchester United just getting the better of both teams, interestingly enough. I don't think we've ever seen them win the league before, at least not for a while. But Liverpool come in second, 85 points, 94 goals. Aston Villa in fourth, Champions League spots with 81 and 86. Not bad. But diving into Liverpool's domestic cup run, they get to the Carabao Cup final, winning against Chelsea 3-2, having beat Everton. Very nicely done there. Unfortunately, they get to the FA Cup fifth round against Manchester United and lose 1-4. But a second trophy of the season does come in the Europa League in the final against Atalanta 3-2. So overall, it's still not a bad season. I would take it. And about average in the green. Unfortunately, I wish to see a little bit more, but 24 goals for Salah, 22 for Nunez, only ones in double digit, or only ones in the 20s at least. 29 assists for Trent, Robertson with 25, and then average rating Salah with a 7.42. Aston Villa, on the other hand, getting to the Carabao Cup quarterfinals, losing in penalties to Newcastle, getting to the FA Cup semi-finals, losing to Southampton 0-1. And in the Conference League, getting to the final and kicking the crap out of Panathinaikos. I apologize for that. 4-1. Panathinaikos. So yeah, I would say probably a little more average on this one for Aston Villa. They do have a nice sea of green for them. A little bit more than usual though. 28 goals for Ollie Watkins, 25 for Diaby, assists 16 for Matty Cash, and average rating Leon Bailey in there, but Ollie Watkins with a 7.31. Data Hub time. Looking at Liverpool attacking wise, definitely there. Unfortunately, the goals just aren't at the top, interestingly enough. But defensively, they're about average. Maybe, yeah, a little bit better than average. 2.47 goals per game. 0.66 conceded is definitely better. 0.90 XG against is about on average or a little bit higher. Aston Villa looking similar, just a little bit down in the attacking numbers, but still well above average. Defensively, not the greatest. I mean, I say not the greatest, but for Aston Villa, it's not the greatest in FM24 from what we've seen as an average. But 2.26 goals per game, 1.26 goal conceded is about average. 1.09 XG against is actually a little bit better. Well, both teams definitely making appearances throughout this entire list. Premier League stats, most points per game. Liverpool in second with 2.24. Villa in fourth with 2.13. Most goals, first and second. Interestingly enough, 94 for Liverpool, 86 for Aston Villa. Fewer shots against, Liverpool in second with 257. Aston Villa in seventh with 350. Most possession, Liverpool making the list with 53%. Most dribbles made, Liverpool in third with 710. Villa with 672. Most tackles won, Villa making the list this time around in seventh with 871. Best pass completion, both with 88%. Most shots for first and second again, 620 is actually a little low for Liverpool, but Villa was 570. So now it did somewhat well in the Premier League, but not the top level that we've seen them come at, in the past at least. How's Ipswich going to fare? Well, they come in third. Unfortunately, that means playoff positioning, and unfortunately even more, usually about 85% of the time they don't make it through, and in this case, they didn't. 97 points, 92 goals, still looks pretty nice in the goal tally for the most part, but we've seen a lot better from Ipswich in other tactics. And a fairly standard run of affairs for Ipswich's domestic cup run. Out in the Carabao Cup third round, 0-1 against Exeter, and then FA Cup fifth round out again penalties against Brentford. So yeah, this time, this save at least, it didn't work for Ipswich all that well. Squad-wise, yeah, not even their average number. I would say average is about 5 or 6 there in the green. This time, not so much. But goals, 21 for Connor Chaplin, 8 for Luongo. We have Leif Davis is still in there. However, George Hurst not playing all that much, which tends to be a problem. Assists, 22 for Leif Davis. Wes Burns with 12. And average rating, Kenny Jackson gets up there, but a 7.31 for Leif Davis. But on to the championship stats. Ipswich in third with 1.98 points per game. Most goals only in third with 95. Definitely want to bring that up. Maybe play George Hurst a little bit more in this season. However, fewer shots against in second with 323. Most possession in eighth with 53%. Most dribbles made in third with 857. And most shots for where we should have seen Liverpool, I would imagine. But first place, 729. But now on to the tactic itself. And the reason I chose this is simply because of that midfield line before the line. I wasn't really certain it was going to do very well for Liverpool or Aston Villa or Ipswich Town. However, we don't have a lot of tactics like this to take a look and kind of see from the data hub where you can see some of the benefits of this tactic versus the teams that you may not want to use it with. But we are going to start with a sweeper keeper in defend, ball playing defenders all along that back line, wing backs in attack on both sides, Seguda Volantes in attack on both sides, with a DM in support in the middle, pressing forwards up front in support, an attacking mentality, in possession attacking with his narrow approach play, well actually passing directness is shorter, tempo is higher, low crosses, in transition a counter press, counter, distribute quickly and roll it out, and out of possession a high press line engagement, a much higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, prevent your goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in, step up more and invite crosses. So overall, how did it work for our three teams? Unfortunately, I won't say the greatest. I mean, Ipswich in third is not a bad place, but in so many tactics we've seen that they come in first handily, especially with a lot more goals. Liverpool at about average on the points, maybe a little, I would say about average, 85, not bad. 94 goals is pretty nice. Aston Villa definitely doing a little bit better than their usual, which is around 77, 78 points or thereabouts. So I can't say it didn't work. However, FM24 really loves the attacking side, the 4-2-4s, the high press, the high energy, the high amount of shots on goal. And in this case, I'm not sure you had a whole bunch of it like you see with the 4-2-4s, but it's definitely one that you can take a look at. This was the one. What I've always heard is when you're doing lower league types of saves, the less instructions, the better for the team. You don't want to get them complicated and kind of get them confused and everything. So maybe try it there, see how it works. But again, as always, if you take control of this, do your own match shouts, training transfers, things like that, you are definitely going to get a better job than especially what Ipswich found. So definitely take a look, see how it works for you. If you got the players, if you've got a lot of midfield players, definitely check it out and see how it works. And let us know how it worked for you in the comments below. But that is it for me, 7FM for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.